Let's look at the next one. And again, and each time, I will invite you to take time to make a stop, pause the video, and work on your own reformulation before you look at mine. Here, another adult man. I am sitting on a bench in some public space. A woman I know, warm, generous, a little fat, comes towards me with naked breasts. She asks me to suck them. I am not very interested, but she insists, looking loving and warm. She says she stopped feeding her child, so she needs to get rid of her milk, too much milk. I suck one of her breasts, trying to get some milk out of it. And meanwhile, I notice another little guy, a teenager, sitting next to me. He looks ugly and miserable. He desperately wants to suck these breasts, but the woman says she prefers me to do it. When I stop sucking, I notice the ugly little guy is all naked. And the woman accepts to let him suck also. The little guy is very happy. What a great dream. Work on your own reformulation. Make a pause. And when you're ready, prepare to look for what follows. So my translation would be, I am in touch with an inner part that is open on the outside. Now here he is in fact in an open environment, but it's still pretty much all sitting on a bench, on the same bench. So it's all about his own person, even though it might be his own personality in its capacity to deal with the outer world. Indeed, the woman is very open and representing the part of him that is feminine, sensitive, generous, open to the outer world. I'm aware of a familiar part of me that is feminine, open and generous, full of nurturing love. That's the breasts. The milk is really coming from the heart space. Nurturing, it's representing, it's a metaphor for loving, nurturing love. In fact, this kind of love that is really giving life. That inner part of me wants to use my abundant inner resources of love, my nurturing love towards myself. It had been, the guy is possibly giving a lot of love outside, but he realizes he has to also love himself. So I myself am not aware of a strong need for self-love, but that part of me insists I self-nurture myself. I nurture my own needs for love. Whatever that means, we will have to clarify. My generous feminine part has given out a lot of love to others, the milk, and still has a lot of love over to give to myself. I make efforts to give myself some self-love. Sucking. The sucking is not easy because I can't easily love myself. That love doesn't flow easily towards myself. Then I am aware of a part of me that is growing. The other little guy. A part of me apparently I don't like that much. Looks ugly. But I am aware that it is in strong demand for love and tenderness. There is indeed a part of me that is in strong demand. So the generous, feminine, loving part of me doesn't really want to give that priority to my neglected part. Tends to deny it. But I realize my neglected or growing part that is quite vulnerable and uncared for, naked, uncared for, vulnerable. And my generous, loving part finally accepts to take care of my own needs. And then my vulnerable part feels really good about it, finally can feel taken care of. What is this dream telling the dreamer? It's reflecting clearly how much he has a need for taking care of himself as much as he can take care of others. He is very generous, but neglecting his own needs and has a self-judgment, self-denial of a part of him that he considers is a little ugly. So he doesn't really look at it. He is denying a part of himself. Although he has a strong need, possibly expresses that towards others. But this dream is inviting him to take care of his own need for growth and be aware and give himself all the attention that he really needs to. So he could role play the woman. He could be connected to this part that is very loving, and he could talk to the other two guys, and certainly to the most in need, the young guy, the naked guy. Talk to that part, say, I'm with you. Come here. My milk is yours. My love is yours. We are one. Come into my heart. I love you. My baby, come into my heart. This is what you can invite the dreamer to do, to fully reunite in his loving presence all the different parts of who he is. That is the inner work. Let's look at another one. And again, you will work on your own reformulation. Here, my father asked me to come to my grandparents' house. I arrive there and find only my elder aunt, whom I don't like that much. She is cooking in the kitchen, preparing dishes and nutritious soup. She says my father told her today is my birthday, so she gives me a present. It's a handmade pillowcase which she made herself. And I'm moved and I thank her. Then my younger aunt comes in. She is often ill and unhappy, but this time she looks really strange, absent, as if she's been taking drugs. She's wearing new shoes, and she looks at herself in a mirror, asking us if she looks good, but we don't answer. Then my parents walk in, which surprises me because my mother usually is in conflict with my grandmother. She's been avoiding her, but here she seems happy and comfortable. There is no conflict. We sit at the dinner table and everyone enjoys the dinner. My mother makes big efforts to improve her relationship with my grandparents. Grandmother and the two aunts keep quiet and don't make any aggressive remarks towards her. So, this is the dream, family dinner, You have a whole family sitting together. How do you reformulate this? Take some time, put on pause, and when you're ready, keep watching further, checking your reformulation. So here is my reformulation of this dream. My inner space of wisdom, the Father, asks me to bring my various sub-personalities together, my inner family. I first meet a part of me that I don't like much, one which I judge as being unkind, lacking sincerity. That's my first aunt. I am surprised to see that I am in reality doing a lot to provide nourishment to all. So the part of me that I was judging as unkind is in fact doing a lot to provide food, nourishment to the whole of my personality. She's cooking. My resourceful self, the Father, said, this is a time of celebration for me. That's the birthday. A time of recognition of who I am. Accepting my own beauty, making a gift to myself. I feel moved. When my attention is drawn to another of my sub-personalities, one of whom I think is weak and unstable, sometimes depressed. That's the second aunt, the part of me that's unstable. I see that that part of me makes efforts to look better. It's actually standing in some new, better assets, possibly some inner resources that make her feel better, that make the dreamer has less of that tendency. Efforts to look better. It is still not fully in touch with reality, looking absent, but trying to change, trying to look better, trying to be recognized, looking into the mirror and asking for recognition. She's asking, am I looking better? I realize I am still ignoring that part of me, not sure about what to think about it, about myself, about that aspect of me, not answering. Then I am aware of the part of me that I used to judge as being stubborn and aggressive. It's the mother. I am surprised to see that that part of me is now behaving better. I recognize my efforts to improve and keep quiet and not be in that inner struggle with the parts of me that are more wise. My whole inner family receives nourishment. There is no tension. I enjoy my inner harmony. So this is a very good example of what your sub-personalities are and how they can come together. And you can observe here that while the family situation in the dream looks indeed similar to the real family outside, the new harmony is in fact not reflected in the outer reality. So the dream situation really belongs to the dreamer. It is her inner world, it is her inner theater, the whole of her different tendencies, different aspects that used to be a little bit in struggle. Some are very wise and grounded, some parts of her. Some are aggressive, some are depressive, some are a little bit stubborn and not nice. So all of this she recognizes as parts of her, but all of this is working towards better harmony. So which processing of this dream can we do? I'm asking you. What would you offer as inner work on the basis of this dream? Take a moment, identify, and then, indeed, we can have the dreamer role play the father, because he is the most resourceful part, and talk to all the other parts. Bring all of them into his presence. When the dreamer is really grounded and identified with this wise and quiet, peaceful father figure, that is the resourceful element. Go into that. This is who you are. Then look at the others and bring them all into your heart, all parts of you. Talk to them. We are one. I love you. Just come into my heart. That's all you need to say. That's all you need to feel. That's all you need to breathe into. That's what the dream is inviting to. So harmonizing inner spaces requires to identify different aspects of your personality, possible limited patterns, whatever shows up in your dreams. Of course, outside of your dreams, in your real life, you can just be aware of all the different tendencies you may carry inside your being. If it shows up in your dream, identify, recognize them in parts of you. Welcome whatever is there. Breathe into it, feel it, and bring it into your loving presence. The part of you that is beyond that, the real driver of the bus, the real driver of your life, is that part of you that is fully grounded in your inner resources, your presence of love, your heart. This is the part of you that can talk to all the others and say, we are one. Just come into my heart. Breathing and feeling. That's the essence of what you can do and of what the dreams are inviting you to. So here we are. This is it for today's work on dreams, and we've been dealing with subpersonalities. Next time we have some more topics related to fairly similar aspects but more detailed, looking into possible distinctions between masculine and feminine, between inner child, inner parent. We will see how we can deal with that. We have a lot of more interesting examples to share with you and some demonstrations as well. Bye-bye for now. See you next time. Keep observing and writing down your own dreams.